Okay, so I'm going to try and do a painting sort of in the style of Helen Frankenthaler. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm wetting my canvas with just clear water. And I'm doing that because I want to put some paint on there and just let it spread and see what it does. So I took some regular acrylic golden paint, and then I thinned it with water in here. Okay, so it's going to fuzz and spread out, but there's still some control there, so I can tip it and I can get things to merge and bleed that way. Okay. Then we've done this before in class with a cotton string piece of cooking twine, and it should be cotton. Like if you do use synthetic, it's not going to work. And then I hold my brush down on that string. This is a fluid or a liquidy black paint. It could be any color. And I like to hold my brush down on that and pull the string through so it gets some paint on it. Okay, now I've got all these vertical lines. So now I'm going to drop my string down on there. And I like this because I have a line, but then I'm losing some control there. It's going to bleed a little bit. Oops, let me move this over. Okay, if I hold my string more taut, get a straight line. Get some curved lines. Okay. Now there's different kinds of paint. So I didn't ask you to get this, but this is a, what is this? A fluid or a high? I think it's high flow. It's almost golden acrylic paint. This is an indigo. It's almost like a dye. Super saturated pigment content. This would be more in keeping with Helen Frankenthaler's work. So not all paints are alike. Even though I thinned this with water, this must have something in it that causes it to bleed like that. Okay, then there's the fluid acrylics. They are a little more transparent, but this is not going to bleed as much. And I'm just dropping it right onto the canvas. Okay, so, and there's other things you can do. You can try blotting to pick up some of the paint. Now I'm stamping with it. So this gets back to our first class with the blob painting. You're exploring what the properties of paint can do. Okay, so at this stage, I would put that out into the sun to dry. I meant to do it this way, actually. Okay. And then I did one earlier. I don't think it's as nice, but anyway. Okay, so this is now dry, and now I can come back and I'm going to work on some other properties of paint, which she didn't really do, but this would be adding more layers. Okay, so, and I'm going to bring in some other colors, maybe orange. Maybe some red. And green. Okay. All right, so this green, I'm going to put this down here. So this is a fluid acrylic and it's highly pigmented, but it's a little bit transparent. So I'm going to see through and then I can start playing with, I'm going to try this comb right there. And scrape into or scrape away. Okay, I'm going to go thicker. I'm just not even really watering this down. Thicker, more impasto paint, blobs. Right now, I don't really have much of a plan, except they kind of looks like flowers to me. And I'm trying to show you these different techniques. Okay, I'll try the fan brush. Okay, we've done sgraffito in class. So you get texture, but then you're scratching through to get some of those layers. So Beth, if you were doing this painting, you might do a similar approach, but try and combine areas of transparent wash, heavier layers of sgraffito, and impasto. Okay, there was something else I was going to do, but now I'm blanking out on that. Are there any questions?
What did you say your surface was? Is it paper?
This is just a piece of canvas paper on this board, and I'm just doing that because I'm, for convenience sake, I'm out in the garage, but yeah, it's a canvas.
Okay, canvas paper.
Yeah, and so you could do that. You could do Bristol. You could actually do an actual canvas, but I think it's helpful to do a couple of practice runs, like try the wet on wet. If you have,
I think the Bristol might warp a little bit, with the water. I don't know. That's why I was wondering what you're using.
I'm using the canvas paper.
Yeah, canvas paper. You can use a canvas board either for the same reason, because it's gonna warp too much.
Not the canvas board shouldn't. That one should not.
I think it would. Yeah, in my experience, they warp.
Okay.
If you put too much water on them, they warp.